My name is Ricarda Bigolin, and together with Chantal, Kirby, we are pleased to join you for the International Fashion Conference Ways of Caring, Practising Solidarity. We are here at RMIT University School of Fashion and Textiles in Naarm, Melbourne now. Worn, Australia, colonised, unreconciled, indigenous sovereignty, land stolen, riches, Woiwurrung, Boonwurrung language groups, Eastern Kulin nations, unceded lands, acknowledge elders past, present, emerging, and traditional custodians, ancestors' lands, waters across Australia. This presentation will include a series of parts. Colonial costume reproductions from a living museum, Sovereign Hill, a few hours from Naarm, Melbourne, a place which recreates and reproduces the period of Australia's gold rush in the 1850s. Costume performances are used for the general public and staff to wear these costumes on site, as I am wearing now. An evening gown reproduction that after several decades of use, hundreds of other bodies wearing it, is now used for photographic portraits. The back of the garment is cut open and adapted for performance. Webbing and buckles strap the wearer in lieu of a corset. Through this presentation, I might speak in poems more than not. It's not a perfect script, less words and more action for practising solidarity and ways of caring in fashion. We will focus on action and performance, wearing, costumes, bodies, walking, reading and responses. Background, colonisation, fast global fashion, local dress practices, overlooked complicated histories, unworn, wearing dress, dressing, undress, reveal complexities, circularity, local materials, gold riches, value, textiles, materials, precious, 1850s, time and labour, dress for decades, care, caring, clothes, press, flatten, sort, arrange, patch, quilt, mend, cut, fold, widen down, darn, gather and stack, attach, detach, compress, release everything before becoming rags. Now sold, downcycle, end use for cheap, single use, unwanted clothes, stripped trims, buttons, zippers, cut, fragments, sold, walled, plastic shrink, wrapped bricks, white coloured rags, last sale expended commodity, use value bodies wear clothes, everyday dress identity, perform conceal, reveal identity status. Enhance denied, age, gender, sexuality, race, ethnicity. Wearing navigates performance, action, opening, closing, unbuttoning, zipping, dress, arms, legs, neck, going through armholes, gathered mass fabric volumes, uncut, maximise, reuse. How many layers are you wearing right now? How old are your clothes? Fancy a crinoline? Your body, your space. Can you sit, walk, run and have fun in it? We propose practising solidarity in fashion as performative discursive actions to restore, in the words of philosopher Sally Scholz, a shared consciousness, experience and history. We question our own disconnection to local fashion and dress systems in Australia. As a colonised country, unreconciled with indigenous sovereignty, how can we be responsive to other dress practices and our own complicated histories? To address colonisation, we need to go back to this source. Fashion enjoys looking back to make anew again historical dress as confections of couture, all forms of excess expression remembered aesthetically, made into new products again. We step aside from historical citation, more than just remaking to glorify a historical period in addressing colonisation in this country. Our role as colonisers, we seek to look at what might happen when many different people wear this dress. Different bodies, ages, genders. How can we slow down wearing and see what we can learn from it? What happens to wear something, to wear out, to be worn? Perhaps we have lost touch with what all of this means. Sovereign Hill, through historic recreations and reproductions, depicts the gold rush of the 1850s, and thousands of settlers and pioneers migrated to Australia from all over the world. Australian dress historian Lorinda Cramer, in discussing this period and the prosperous gold rush in Australia, describes how limited materials fostered extended life use, circularity, second-hand economies, and dress as performance to deceive or validate identity. Costumes are worn and adapted for staff and visitors to the museum. Expending use, repair, mending and refurbishment keep replicas in circulations for decades. How can these strategies influence practice today? As part of our critical fashion practice D&K, we are producing garment studies in response to these replica costumes. These will be revealed throughout the performances today, configured from readily available downcycled rags. Fashion scholar Lou Taylor describes rags as meeting the end of their life as their role as garments worn on the body. As part of the performance of Practising Solidarity, we use rags in this context to take back to our bodies, compiled to resemble styles, shapes and pattern templates from 1850s dress. And the practices of reproduction costumes at the Living Museum, adaptive, extended life use, expended material performance, sorting, pressing and categorising rags, revealing imagined and past lives, former functions, way we might reconsider value and use, ways to adapt, repair, refurbish and care for a ripped fragment of cloth from a single-use garment, could evoke a sleeve or a bodice part from an 1850s dress. We use the expended textile commodities of rags to resemble these forms and wear these too. We wear things every day. Getting dressed is a universal experience. In the words of material culture researcher Sophie Woodward, we negotiate our own bodies, age, gender and sexuality when we look at ourselves in the mirror, making choices of what to wear and what not to wear, getting dressed. Researcher on gender and dress Kat Jun-Nichols suggests critical tactics of wearing can increase connections between past and present, surrounding cultures, gendered relationships and citizenship. Sociologist Chris Heselbein furthers this notion, saying what we wear can change the way we sit, stand or walk, and can influence our social interactions and self-perceptions. You will see from video footage of fieldwork at Sovereign Hill, we explore wearing as a performance, as dressed embodiment across different wearers and bodies. Also in 3 performances we'll show you today, we aim to challenge wearing of these colonial costumes through types of bodies, action, movement and sight. Like our fieldwork, we work with participants here today through a slow series of wearing instructions. Watch and enjoy these. As you are watching online, we will also ask you provocations and invite you to join in too, as well as prompts for you. We look forward to any responses you may have. See the link in the chat, which will shortly be there. Like this subject, this presentation as emerging research won't be smooth surfaces, made smooth to be perfect and clear. Wearing, dress and bodies aren't smooth. Garments aren't and shouldn't always have to be new and perfect. We will now play video footage from Sovereign Hill, filmed and edited by Mark Morrell, sound by Andrew Wilson. Also throughout are performances featuring participants Criticon, Remy, Carl and Michelle. Today in our performances we'll also be joined by Robin, Jude, Blake and Indy. Full credits will follow at the end.
The Australian bush, when the campfires are burning low, are they wearing rest the back like a shadow caught in a shaft of light, she dissolves into yesteryear. You'll hear her voice crying in the breeze, the ladies of Ireland. If you wander into the velvet night through a valley of mysteries, you'll see her work by the man she loves while they fell in the phantom trees. When you catch a glimpse of a small dark hut through a space where the trees are cleared, the rustling leaves stir a memory of a lady who pioneered. Through the mists of time, there's a sound of laughter where children are running free. You sense the smell of the fresh-baked damper and brewing ability. When a shadow falls on a baby's grave and the dew mingles with a tear, a lady grieves through eternity, and that lady's a pioneer.
This is hard work.
Do you want to punch up a north and south, lady? This is really slow, isn't it?
Jack, I don't care for our little Emma playing around all day with these ragamuffins of children. Half the time they're up to no good. We should send her to the national school.
What, that school in a tent?
That school in a tent, my dear, is better than no schooling. The fees are £1 per week.
busting out of our shell. It's the bright new world, now let's start ringing that bell. Look at it, remember less than 200 years brought us up from nothing thanks to our pioneers. Used to be down under, now we're heading for top. Shook the rusty brakes off, here we go, we won't stop. Australia, hooray, hooray, Australia right now. It's the place to live in, it's the place you should be. Look at it, it's Australia, great for you and me.
Anything's possible now. We've just begun. What about the future?
That's up to you.
Yes, we can be something bigger, something stronger. We can stand right up and say that we're going to be someone, really someone. And the day for being someone is
Hello, popular one, that one.
Aye?
Your mother sing that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad,
Dad sang
the
it.
two of them would sing together on a Sunday evening.
Did they ever sing in harmony? Together?
Yeah, both together. Lay down on the bed Sunday after the dinner was over, washed up, and you'd hear them singing away there for hours.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Together.
yeah. Those girls would be roaming around somewhere, looking for wood ducks or ducks on the pond. You know, right out back they would call what they call gilgai owls. Did you ever heard of them?
No. What
Oh,
are they?
the country would be all like little small ponds, you can understand. And it's just Take the master of the
Ooh. What was that? It's the boogeyman behind that cloth. See him move, see? No, it's not. He's coming to get you, he is.
Can I do any?
Yeah, a little bit.
No, I'm blocked out.
It's around St. Patrick's Day.
This is, what was this one? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Poor mother.
What do you call it? What was that tune?
That's the, now what was it? I had it in my brain when I was singing it.
Madigan's Ball.
The Raspberry Blossom, I think. Oh,
Materials like gold, precious riches, precarity from lands, minerals, plants, textiles, days, months, years, labour, growth, mass manufacture. Maximise yields, minimise costs. Buy more, not less. Mine materials, reduce fibres, looks the same, but it's not. Single use, few uses. Colonial 1850s, textile materials, worth not quite like gold, but precious, uncut, 10 yards for a dress, slow time, hand spun, hand woven, early industrial looms from afar, travelled by sea in the post, wash, wear, repeat, repair, hang dry, etc. How many materials are you wearing? Count the layers. What are they? List and describe them. Where did they come from? How do you care for them or not? Please reflect and respond to any part of this via the link in the chat. We will read these to conclude. Now we will break for 5 minutes. This provocation will be shown as you reflect.
Hello, I'm Robin Healy. Dress migrates, 19th century slow changes. Crinolin's shifting balance, volumes around the body. Restrict movement, stand like an object. You're not really expected to move. Fitted torso, waist down. Uncut yards, cloth gathered, folded back. The fine art of laundry. Careful washing, replaceable parts, collars, cuffs. Wash more often. A dress mended, reworked, remodelled over decades. Trims added, a la mode. Changes in wearers' bodies adapted.
We usually get dressed every day. Look at ourselves. Decide if the image we see matches our performed reality. Do I look okay? What will others see? This might take a while or be done by fleeting glances in a walk by of the mirror, or it takes time. We match dress to codes, situations, and scenarios. Real, aspirational, and imagined. Sometimes intuitively, our bodies, genders, sexuality also perform codes, prescribed often by others. When you got dressed today, did you imagine this was for yourself or someone else? How has what you were wearing changed your experience of the moment, the day? Sensorial qualities, comfort, discomfort, movement, soft, hard, cold, etc. Performance and function, properties to enhance. How does what you're wearing influence how you perform to others? Walking, talking, sitting, looking. Please reflect and respond to any part via the link in the chat. We will read these to conclude.
We'll take a 5-minute break, and this provocation will be shown as you reflect.
Thank you for the responses to our provocations. We'll now read through some of the responses. Provocation 1. How many materials are you wearing? Count the layers. What are they? List and describe them. Where did they come from? How do you care for them or not? 6 materials. 2 layers bottom, 3 layers top, 1 on feet. Wool jumper, nylon top, cotton singlet, cotton jeans, modal undies, cotton socks. Hand washing, wool. Machine washing, everything else. Not washing denim. Came from sheep, cotton crops, oil, cellulose. Geographically, everything has lost its label, but even that wouldn't tell where the fibres come from. 7 materials, 3 layers. 35 mohair, 34% wool, 27% nylon, 5% elastane, made in China. Flower dyed cotton socks, made in Australia. Ankle length, curved leg, 100 cotton jean, made in Bulgaria. Jean, t-shirt, sweater, socks. Wash with similar colours, gentle wash. 2 materials, 2 layers. Cotton dress, soft, elasticity, knit, stripes. Polyester robe, warm, fluffy, faux fur, woven, made in China, casual wear, machine wash. 6 items, garments, underwear, nylon stockings, cotton t-shirt, all items made in China, machine wash, wool skirt and coat, textiles from unknown source, garments made in Italy and Japan, dry clean only, cashmere knit, Mongolian, made in China, hand wash, boots, made in Italy, clean with damp cloth, leather, conditioner. Provocation 2. What is the oldest item of clothing you own? What is the most expensive item of clothing you own? A maxi dress today could cost as little as $50. If dress had a different value, indicative of use of over time, potential of reuse, adaptation, repair, if we cherished clothes like other valuable items, what might be their real worth? How do you use a dress for $50 compared to a dress for $3,000? One thing I noticed about the age of your wardrobe is its dependence on your own age. For example, I asked my students to bring favourite items to class, and for many of them, a well-loved item had been in their wardrobe for maybe 4 years, which is a lot for a 19-year-old. But the example I chose I had been wearing for over 20 years. Provocation 3. When you got dressed today, did you imagine this was for yourself or someone else? How has what you are wearing changed your experience of the moment, day? Sensorial qualities, comfort, discomfort, movement, soft, hard, hot, cold, etc. Performance and function, properties to enhance. How does what you are wearing influence how you perform to others? Walking, talking, sitting, or looking. Getting dressed was a slow process today because I woke up early for an earlier session here. I only got dressed in time for this session. For myself, you can't see me. I feel relaxing as I don't need to care about how others think. I got dressed for myself, indoors, cold, comfort, effortless, basic, rainy day. When I work at home, I put on tracksuit pants because I think it will make me go for a walk during the day, which will make me feel good, but then I don't go out, and so I feel like a slob. Instead, not because I didn't do any exercise, but because I wore tracksuit pants to work in all day. Thank you for responding to our provocations. Thank you everyone for joining us online today. Thank you to the State of Fashion, Artes University of the Arts, Naarm, for this engaging and refreshing conference. We also acknowledge and thank RMIT University School of Fashion and Textiles, Sovereign Hill Living Museum, Erin Santa Maria Project Advisor and Head of Rare Trades Programming, Dylan Leake from Sovereign Hill Photographic Studios, Mark Morrell for filming and editing, Andrew Wilson for sound, RMIT University events team for supporting this live presentation today, and our performance participants from the video, Remy Cybis, Kritikon Kamaswat, Michelle Lee, Carolina Hedgeman. And today in the performance, Robin Healy, Remy Cybis, Jude Waters, Michelle Lee, Indiana Cool, Blake Barnes. Costumes were provided by Sovereign Hill Costume Department and the Red Hill Photographic Studios produced on site at Sovereign Hill. D&K Costume Studies produced by myself, Ricarda Bigolin and Chantal Kirby. Thank you everyone. Enjoy the rest of the conference and goodbye.